Do you know how to ask your manager for something you want at work without sounding demanding or losing their respect?
Professional negotiation is one of the most valuable skills in the workplace, and today we'll show you exactly how it sounds in natural English. Welcome back to Learn English. I'm William, and I'm joined as always by Sarah. Today we are at B2 level, which means you'll hear complex grammar, professional vocabulary, and real negotiation tactics that people use every day in English-speaking offices.
Today's topic is negotiating a remote work schedule. In our scenario, I play an employee, let's call her Sarah, who wants to work from home 3 days a week. William plays her manager. This is a very realistic situation that many professionals face.
In the first conversation, Sarah makes the initial request and presents her business case. In the second conversation, I raise some concerns as the manager, and we work toward a compromise. Pay close attention to the polite but confident language Sarah uses throughout.
Hi, William. Thanks for making time to meet with me. I wanted to talk with you about something that's been on my mind for a while, specifically, the possibility of moving to a hybrid work arrangement.
Of course, Sarah. I appreciate you bringing this up directly rather than letting it fester. What did you have in mind?
I'd like to propose working from home 3 days a week, ideally Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and being in the office Wednesday and Friday for team collaboration. I've thought carefully about how this would work with my deliverables and the team's needs.
That's quite a significant change. Tell me more about the business case you have in mind. Why do you think this would work?
Absolutely. I've tracked my productivity metrics over the past 3 months, and on the days I've worked remotely, during the 2 weeks when the office was closed, my output was consistently 20% higher. I completed all my reports ahead of schedule and had 0 missed deadlines.
I appreciate the data. That's exactly the kind of thing I need to hear. And I understand the work-life balance angle too. But I do have some concerns around visibility and team culture.
Those are completely valid concerns, and I'd love to address them. In terms of visibility, I would commit to being available during core hours, 9 to 5, regardless of where I'm working. I'd also check in at the start and end of each remote day and flag any blockers immediately rather than waiting.
That's reassuring. I'll be honest with you, Sarah. I'm open to the idea in principle. My main concern is making sure this doesn't set a precedent that creates friction with others on the team who might want the same thing.
I understand that completely. Would it help if we started with a trial period, say, 6 weeks, and then reviewed it together based on measurable outcomes? That way, it remains a structured arrangement rather than an open-ended commitment. Excellent conversation. Sarah handled that very professionally. Let's look at some of the key language she used.
Notice how Sarah used data to support her request. She said, "I've tracked my productivity metrics." This is powerful negotiation language. It shows you've done your homework and you're not just making emotional arguments. Always bring evidence when negotiating at work.
Sarah also said those are completely valid concerns. This is a very smart negotiation move. You acknowledge the other person's objections before responding to them. It makes you sound reasonable and collaborative, not defensive.
And she proposed a trial period, a fixed time to test the arrangement. This is a great strategy because it lowers the risk for the manager. Instead of asking for a permanent change, you're asking for a test. It's much easier to say yes to. Okay, Sarah, I've thought about your proposal, and I do like the trial period idea. But I want to be transparent. I've had pushback from senior leadership about remote work across the department. They feel that face-to-face collaboration is important for innovation.
I hear you. And I think that's a fair point for roles that are heavily collaborative. But my role is largely independent. I spend most of my day doing analysis and writing reports, which doesn't require constant in-person interaction. The in-person requirement makes more sense for the product and design teams.
That's a fair distinction. My other concern is accountability. If I can't see you in the office, how do I know the work is getting done? I'm not questioning your integrity. It's just that our remote work policy doesn't have strong accountability mechanisms yet.
That's a great point, and honestly, it gives me an opportunity to help build that structure. What if I submitted a brief weekly summary every Friday, 3 bullet points on what I completed, what's in progress, and if there are any blockers? That way you'd have full visibility without needing to micromanage.
I really like that idea. It actually makes sense for the whole team, not just you. All right, here's what I can offer. A A 6-week trial, 3 days remote per week, with your proposed in-office days. At the end of the trial, we review it together and decide whether to formalize the arrangement.
That sounds like a very fair compromise. I really appreciate your openness, William. I'll send you a written summary of what we agreed so we're both on the same page. When would you like the trial to start?
Let's start next Monday. That gives us this week to align with HR and make sure the remote work policy covers what we are doing. And Sarah, I want to say that I found this conversation very professional. You made it easy to say yes. Sarah's negotiation was a masterclass in professional English. Let's review a few more key phrases.
When the manager raised concerns, Sarah didn't get defensive. She said, "That's a fair point. This shows emotional intelligence." You agree with part of what the other person says, and then you pivot to explain why your situation is different. It's powerful because it reduces conflict immediately. Use "that's a fair point" often in professional discussions.
Sarah also turned a problem into an opportunity to help build structure. When the manager said there were no accountability mechanisms, she said, "That gives me an opportunity to help build that structure." Offering to solve the manager's problem is one of the most effective negotiation tactics you can use.
Let's practice some of the key negotiation phrases from today. Repeat these sentences out loud, slowly, and clearly. I'd like to propose moving to a hybrid work arrangement.
Those are completely valid concerns, and I'd love to address them.
Would it help if we started with a 6-week trial period?
I'll send you a written summary so we are both on the same page.
Wonderful. These phrases work in any professional negotiation, not just remote work. Practice them until they feel completely natural.
Quiz time. Let's check your comprehension. I'll ask the questions and Sarah will answer. Question 1. What specific data did Sarah use to support her request for remote work?
She said she had tracked her productivity metrics over the past 3 months. During periods of remote work, her output was consistently 20% higher, and she completed all her reports ahead of schedule with 0 missed deadlines.
Question 2. What accountability mechanism did Sarah propose to address the manager's concerns?
She offered to submit a brief weekly summary every Friday with 3 bullet points: what she completed, what was in progress, and any blockers. This gives the manager full visibility without micromanaging.
Question 3. What did they finally agree on, and for how long?
They agreed on a 6-week trial period with Sarah working remotely 3 days per week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and in the office on Wednesday and Friday. After 6 weeks, they would review the arrangement together.
That's it for English 081. Whether you're negotiating remote work, a salary raise, or a project deadline, today's language will help you do it with confidence and professionalism.
Subscribe so you never miss an episode, and if you found this useful, share it with a colleague who's learning English too. See you next time. Keep pushing.